After a week exploring some more off-the-beaten-track cities in Japan, I finally made my way to Nagoya and felt the whole city vibe once more. Come and join me and see just what Nagoya has to offer. My first night in Nagoya, I instantly did two things I've been missing while travelling. I went to play Magic, and I went to my favourite cheap yakiniku restaurant. Boy was it delicious.
And after exploring many towns and small places, I'm finally here in the fourth biggest city in Japan, Nagoya. But what is there to do in Nagoya? Is it worth visiting? Well, it has literally anything you expect a massive city to have. Just today I've went out to play some of my favourite game, Magic, and tomorrow I'm going to a concert. Anything you think you'd be able to do in Tokyo or Osaka, you're probably going to be able to do here.
Nagoya is actually the fourth biggest city in Japan, but most people would give it a miss unless they're planning to go to Ghibli Park. So I'm going to show you some things you can do here, maybe give you about 5 reasons that Nagoya might be for you on your next Japan trip.
Now, while Nagoya is a big city, it doesn't have literally everything. Sadly, it has failed the banana milk check for the first time on my journey. However, there are at least 3 more Don Quixotes here, so there's still a chance for Nagoya to redeem itself. But the first store, disappointing other than the silver lining, but they sold English muffins, which is one of my favourite types of bread. It reminds me of home, and they have that, so I guess I'll let them slide. But if they have the milk, it'd be perfect.
Now, while I did enjoy my first night in Nagoya, I did run into one big issue. See, the hotel I ordered was pretty cheap, and there's a reason for that. It wasn't actually locked off private rooms, because there was this massive hole on the top where you could rest a Coke can, just about. It turned out alright in the end, but it wasn't the privacy I was expecting. It's still got a lock, that's still the bare minimum requirement, but it was weird being able to hear everyone.
And I didn't plan this, but a great benefit of being in this city is when you're an idiot like me and forget your only laptop charger, it means that, well, tonight I'm just going to walk around Nagoya until I get tired at about 2 AM probably, and then go back. But it means you can get a replacement. If you forget anything crucial on your travels, you're not in the middle of the Anaka, you can just get something. And, you know, it's Merry Christmas here apparently, so that's nice. It's very pretty. And that does mean, rather than my plan tonight, I'm going to edit a video, and I just have to walk around until I'm tired. No choice. It's like, what else? This park honestly is very nice. It's a lovely little walk, even late at night. And don't worry, if you've got no one to enjoy the view, sit on a bench, these two have got you covered. They'll absolutely sit there and make you feel very lonely. That's not me, not at all, no. And I think I'm not so much into the nightlife, but if you're into the nightlife, the city still feels very much alive, and it's currently about 11:30 on a Saturday night. So if that's your kind of scene, you'll be able to wander around and see people everywhere, and you know, this shows how much I know about nightlife, because honestly, everything still seems open. Japan does actually feel safe. Like, I think it's one thing to say it, but I'm currently walking around at near midnight in Nagoya, the 4th biggest city in Japan, and I don't feel remotely threatened. If I was doing this in London, I would have to be, you know, very aware of my surroundings. It's like, you know, you still need some common sense, but you can do fine. And while I wanted to see a castle at night, it's actually just way too dark, so I've just had a lovely old walk, because I can.
12 past midnight. All the lights are on.
And of course, when your first day in Nagoya is in the rain, that doesn't mean there's still not plenty to do. Let's find out. So I went in there and statistically pre-ordered the new Pokemon game, get this shiny sticker with it, beautiful. I found something very interesting which happens to be on today. This is why big cities are great to visit, because unexpected things happen.
There was a random Korea festival, which I had a little look around, took a picture of this, whoever they are, and then found the next donkey.
centered, it's inside, not outside. Got your jump shots, got your jump shot. And the last thing we're doing on the second day is, of course, going to the concert. I'm very excited for. Last time I saw Polka Dot, it was for 20 minutes, so now it's for significantly more. Something important to remember about Nagoya: if there's a tour happening, it'll go through here because it's the fourth biggest city, and it is right between Kyoto, Osaka, and Tokyo. That means if you're traveling between the two, you can check if there's someone you like playing there, if they are not playing in any of the other places, and then you can come and enjoy. I just had a fantastic night myself listening to Polka Dot Stingray. First proper live, God, it was good. The lighting was either fantastic and amazing, or they put it right in your face and blinded you, which was a bit annoying. But God, all of their songs are so good. Like, there was a few that was not my favourite, but like even then it's like they're so consistently fantastic. And it makes me feel so good. And every time I listen to a live, it's like, I love these, I want to keep listening to these forever. And you can only do that for me in Japan, because that's where the music I like is. And I regret not buying merch at the previous ones I've been to. So I bought this lovely t-shirt, which I think is a nice little cute cat anyway, and a gacha, which I'm going to open in a little bit. I'm going to put my jumper on, it's freezing. As for my gacha result, here we go. I think these are so cute. It's just a little like Tamagotchi keyring thing. They're really cute, so I'm happy with that. I will share the lesson I learned today. All lives I've been to so far for individual artists, you reserve a seat, you have a seat, but then as soon as it starts, you stand up and ignore that seat. It means you've got somewhere that's designated for you. For this one, there was a standing area and a sitting area. So I went for the sitting area, not knowing that then everyone would actually just sit down in the seats like crazy, right? But you know, if you have a preference, that matters there. And another thing you can't ignore about Nagoya is it's nestled right in the middle of Japan. You actually day trips to basically anywhere. Now, I'm going to Eina today, which I've already been to in my last video, because as we know, I need to get my laptop charger. So this isn't the day trip I'd planned, but it is one nonetheless. So it's good to get everywhere, and it's only 1,200 yen day trip to see sites like this. And I'm here, I've got my laptop charger. Rather than just coming all the way out here, I thought I'd take something on the way back that you can see from Nagoya. So on the way back, I found something quite pretty that we're gonna go and take a look at. So I've arrived in Canada, and there is nobody anywhere as far as I can see, which is always an interesting feeling in the middle of the day at 2 p.m. So let's see if there's any life to this city or town or whatever it is. At the entrance where we are, there's this massive dragon. It's quite inspiring in Japan. I feel like you go to random places and there's just awesome decorations like this because it means something. So we're going to find out. And if this doesn't look like a portal to another world, I don't know what does. Holy shit, this site in the autumn. This is the best autumn foliage I have seen, bar none, while I've been here. Wow. Such a beautiful area. Well paved. And heralds from the dragon. Oh my god, there's a dragon inside. That's so cool. I did not expect to find anything when I lit that up. Wow, that's awesome. Oh. And if that isn't a picture of paradise, what is? This is 15 minutes walk from the train station. This is 15 minutes walk from the train station here, and about 45 minutes from Nagoya. So you can go out for a trip to somewhere like Eina, see the gorge, come here, see a waterfall, and be back in time for some lovely nightlife. Oh, it's good. Like almost taste the water here as it gets brought up by this. I'm like, oh, it's such a lovely feeling. And the view is just I could say lovely too much, it's amazing. Back in Nagoya, Random Park. Shopping street. Something else I feel that is always worth a mention is that in fact Nagoya is a seaside city. The main centre is quite far from it, so if you were going through on the Shinkansen and you got out, you had a look around, you wouldn't know it. But for just 270 yen from the centre, you can find yourself by the sea. Take in all that sea air, visit the aquarium if you're so inclined, and learn about the story of these two little dogs. And I've seen a lot of statues, the great people and a few animals as well, but these two dogs are incredible. Because unfortunately they were abandoned in the Antarctic because they just got lost, they couldn't make it back in the dead of winter. And then like after winter, they found them again. And these dogs were just chilling and just happy. Well, chilling's probably a bad choice of words, isn't it? But that's amazing. That's amazing.
And there was a park with different trees from around the world. We had an America region here. Fantastic!
I do enjoy my travels, just finding places by the sea to just sit and relax for a little while. Right now the sun's in a bit of an awful place in the sky, but it's nice for me to know that the sea. I've just spent a few weeks in the mountains. I've been to Fuji, I've been to Nagano, I've been to Matsumoto. It's nice to be able to see the sea again.
I found a random shops and some anime merch I had as a child, that Kakashi, I had it, and I appreciated that. Now, one of my other favourite parts of Japan are the Japanese gardens that are just so finely crafted and beautiful, and I can't help but explore whenever I find one in a new city. And Nagoya did not disappoint. Most of these gardens are just amazing places to walk around, and they often only cost a few hundred yen, making them a great opportunity to explore on the cheap. I will literally never get over the fact that Old Man's Eyes is the song that plays when it's time to leave somewhere in Japan. In Japan it's the end, in England it's the start of something new.
That was simply a lovely park to walk around, and now there's one other place very close by here that's definitely worth seeing, a real show of history in Nagoya. And here it is, this shrine there, one of the oldest in Japan. And here stands Otxhello Shrine, which has stood for many, many a year. just want to see the atmosphere. You go around all the roads and then you're suddenly in an old historical shrine with all these trees and sakura. It reminds me of Meiji Jingu in Tokyo, and nowhere else has done that other than here. And for the next day in Nagoya, I decided to come to Nagoya Castle. It's not one of the main ones in Japan, but when I actually looked up the area, it's not just entrance to the castle, it's entrance to the gardens as well, which, you know I love my stones. So I don't know what to expect from this castle. I've seen Osaka and Matsumoto being entirely different, so let's find out.
So the grounds around the Nagoya Castle are quite large. It's not quite the traditional Japanese garden like we saw yesterday, but it's still lovely to walk around. Even if there are some rather strange buildings here and there. There was, however, one very big issue with my day.
There it is, Nagoya Castle. Beautiful sight, but this definitely marks a different castle to the other ones I've experienced. You can't actually go in. I know that I underprepare for visiting places sometimes, but I figured the one thing I wouldn't need to check when visiting a castle is whether you can visit the castle. But apparently, that's too much.
When I visited, some reconstruction works going on, so by the time you watch this, it's probably somewhere you can enter. But when I was there, this is the only week I was in Nagoya, so tough luck. But there was another building you could enter and have a look around.
Completely modern. So while I did still enjoy seeing the palace, it was really interesting to see such a recent recreation, that it still looked completely modern, but they tried to use the same techniques as before, so it's going to be as close as it could have looked. So when you go to somewhere like Matsumoto Castle, it's several hundred years old and there's wear and tear on it, but because this is so new, it's going to appear basically exactly how it was built for the people it was built for. And that's pretty cool to see.
Now going on to the evening, what did I find? I found the nerdy district with sweet potato and card shops.
Final big mall. That's new value. That's new value.
For my meal, I went to Torikatsuku, which is a shop where everything you can buy is 350 yen, is Akaya style. So I got some chicken and some rice.
I'm just about to sleep in the hostel, but they have given me this to try. So let's see what it looks like. Well, it's actually already warm. It says it gets warm when it comes out the back end, so good night, I guess. It actually smells quite nice, and it's like warm on your face, so approved. So Pokemon is out tomorrow. I'll be going to get it. Nintendo doesn't want you to forget it either. These are everywhere. Quite an impressive building. But no, today is not a day for Pokemon, that is tomorrow. Today is a day for science, as we are visiting Nagoya Science Museum. What's your first life? What should you say?
各店名古屋市
Now this isn't terribly surprising, but most of the museums I've gone in so far in Japan had some English in. Nagoya, no. Other than atomic symbols, it was entirely Japanese, which is pretty reasonable to expect, but it did dampen my experience. There was one thing I really enjoyed though, and that was that there was a button you could press that just summons a tornado. This made it worth it.
There was the planetarium, which had some cool parts, but half of it was just a glorified slideshow, which felt like a bit of a waste. But there were some very cool shots of the galaxy. And with that, tomorrow's my last day here. And all I'm going to do, because I'm in a city, is I'm going to buy Pokemon, play Pokemon, and go and play some Magic. So those are things I won't be able to do for quite a while. So, just do it.
And on the final day, I visited the Pokemon Center and it was all revamped for the new game. No surprises, lots of new merch, and I did buy one very little thing for myself alongside the game. Because Quaxly is the best starter. Look at all this Quaxly stuff. I also found a little sky garden to get a nice view over some of Nagoya before heading back and playing Pokemon.
And as I walk down this old street, this marks the end of my week in Nagoya. Afterwards, I have many places to visit, but just a few days at a time, so it's going to be very rapid fire. So, this is what I've been able to do in Nagoya. It's not been as action-packed and exciting as some places, but it's just the benefits of chilling out in a city. So, thanks for watching, and take care.